I wanted to get away from Terminator and go to the safety of thatched cottage. I think we have to take into account what environment I was growing up in. I really don't want to cry.
No, don't, because I cried last week.
I don't agree because I don't dream, but I am definitely mad. So your conspiracy theory is odd. This episode of Miss Me contains some very strong language and some adult themes. Welcome to Listen, Bitch. I took my cashmere jumper off and I didn't put deodorant on this morning, so I absolutely reek of BO.
Welcome to Listen, Bitch. Everyone, Lily, her boobs, me, my face.
Excuse me. That's sexual harassment in the workplace. Thank you very much.
Well, they go oink, not oink, oink. Beep, beep. What are the...
No.
Honk.
I'm asking you not to. You do not have consent to honk my boobs. Okay?
Let's do this instead. It's dreams. Welcome to Listen, Bitch. The theme is...
dreams.
So we'll start with... Dun. If I do this to you, what are you going to sing? Dun, dun, dun. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
I used to read Word Up magazine. Come on, Piggy.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know the words, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh, that's my tune. Okay, what would you like to be your dream tune? What am I talking about? Just sing my favourite Lily Allen song. Let's go.
Which one?
Dreams,
dreams of when we had just started things. Dreams of me and you. And it seems that I can't shake those memories. I can't remember the rest of the words to that.
Last line is my favourite.
Dreams come. I can't remember.
No, the line is, I wonder if you have the same dreams too.
Oh, yeah. And I wonder if you have the same dreams too.
Lyrics. Oh, I love that song. All right, let's have our first question for today's Listen, Bitch. The theme is obviously dreams.
Hey, this is Fiona in Brooklyn, and my question about dreams is, have you ever had a dream that comes true? And you think you're clairvoyant, and you're like, how in the hell do I hone this skill to understand it at an earlier time? There have been so many instances where I've had a dream and the exact same thing happens. And you get this deja vu feeling, but it's different than deja vu because you're like, no, I had a dream that this was going to happen, and it's what happens. But you couldn't ever predict that it was going to happen. You know? Yeah, love the pod. Love you both. Thank you.
Maybe she could be your new friend in Brooklyn.
I have a dream.
This is going to get quite stupid today.
I don't think I ever have had that happen.
Right. Is that lady talking about having a dream like at nighttime when you sleep and then that coming to be?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that might be quite specific. I mean, Freud does say that, this is Freud's take on dreams, that dreams are about wish fulfillment and about destiny. But I hope not for some of the weird fucking dreams I have. I really hope that's not a sign of things to come, because I'm constantly being hunted in my dreams. Hunted, Lily.
Really?
Yeah, it's horrible. And it's always, but like, honestly, the other day I had the worst version of it. And then I woke up at 4 a.m, in cold sweats at my mum's house. So happy to be at my mum's house, then went back to sleep and entered the same dream of being hunted by this same motherfucker that no one else thought was dangerous. And that happens a lot as well. I'm always saying, he's dangerous, and no one believes me. And I have to keep running and hiding from said kind of monstery man. It's not nice at all.
Do you talk to your therapist about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good.
But I just don't want to exacerbate fear. Basically, it's fear manifesting. I think a lot of my fears manifest into my dreams. I don't usually have lovely dreams that I want to stay in for ages.
I used to have a lot of not being hunted, but being like chased down by the authorities as a kid. Dreams. Like that I'd committed a crime and I was going to be found out.
Really?
Yeah. I think I used to like maybe, you never see anyone die in a dream, right? But I think like I murdered people in my dreams or like had to, not murdered them because like, you know, I just wanted to kill someone, but because like they'd done something bad, or it was like self-defense, but then having to, you know, knowing that I didn't have a
alibi.
Well, not an alibi, but there's just nobody would believe me. So I had to run.
That's horrible. That's a bit like my hunted one. We're both being hunted in our dreams. Fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they're not about wish fulfillment. But no, I have a lot of dreams in life that I manifest into being. I suppose that would be most recently my latest article in The Observer.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a writer.
How do you feel?
I've been off Instagram and kind of hibernating, so I forgot it was coming out. And then you text me and said, it's so good. I'm very proud. And I was like, oh my God, it must be good then. Let me read it. And it was really good. I was really proud. Yeah, it's good. It's good. That's something I didn't think I'd do.
Can you tell me what the process was? So you went to the restaurant. Miquita had a restaurant review in The Guardian this weekend. She was sitting in for Jay Rayner.
It's a good sentence, isn't it?
Yeah. And when you went to the restaurant, did you take a notebook with you?
As I said to you when I went, like a couple of weeks ago, I was all like, la, la, la. My mom was like, you need to take notes. You need to be writing things down. You need to be taking pictures. What was uncomfortable was I didn't tell Dorian that I was doing a review. So I really hope they're okay with it. But it's definitely something I'd be interested. The process is quite fun. Go to the restaurant, eat nice food, say what you thought about it. I was like, I could do this for a job. It's fucking easy. But writing about food is quite difficult. Just coming up with lots of not expletives.
Adjectives.
That's the wrong word. Lots of adjectives for food and to not sound kind of samey and repetitive. That I found really hard. And my mum did really help.
Right.
There.
So you were reaching for the flowery language.
Yeah. And she was like, don't say how everything arrives. Don't say it arrived like this. There was one thing that I was very proud of, the way I said it arrived. Do you know what it was?
No.
It was the Rosti.
Oh, yeah. Privileged.
I thought that was quite good.
I didn't really understand that. Can you explain?
Okay. So the Rosti arrived smart and privileged. I was trying to say that like the Rosti had an air of grandiosity to it and neatness and sort of it's a bit better than you.
Okay.
Personifying the Rosti, Lil. Becoming the Rosti, if you will.
Okay, you personified the Rosti. Well done.
That's what I do with my dreams.
It was an aspirational thing for you to do and you did it and it's brought you joy and I'm really happy for you that you did that.
I feel like a grown-up.
And I hope that the universe brings you more of that. That would be nice. Please manifest.
Yeah, I think it would be great. Do you want to be my next guest?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Just go to nice restaurants with Lily. We could do that. Just edge this into a restaurant review show. Okay, let's have another question.
Hi, Lily and Miquita. It's Greg from Ipswich. Love the podcast. I was dating someone for 2-3 months, went to bed, had a dream, and in this dream, there's a fictional character or a fictional person. I really liked them, really in love. I woke up and I knew it wasn't real, but it did make me realize, I'm not feeling that with the person I'm dating. And I do think it was my subconscious helping me out or figure something out. So my question to you is, have you ever acted upon or changed something in your life because of what happened in a dream?
I felt like there are people I can't trust because of what I've seen them behave like in my dreams when they haven't done anything to me, which is quite discombobulating. There are people in my life that are like villainous in a dream and I'm like, wake up hating them and then have to remind myself that actually it was a dream. I think this is quite a big kind of overview of the whole conversation, which is like, I think it's important to not take dreams too literally. I think if you feel like something is tapped into your instinct and your current situation, as in I'm not feeling my partner, fine. But I think don't be too rash to act upon the subconscious too often. Sometimes you can trust it, but sometimes you can't. Have you ever acted upon something that's happened in a dream? Did you ever murder any of these people that you murdered?
No.
Didn't go on a killing spree.
I think my dreams are quite like out there. They don't really like follow a narrative. They're usually about like a feeling or an emotion or I had this like sort of repetitive dream when I was a kid, which was not it wasn't there wasn't a story to it, but it was just very much about like masculinity and femininity. And like I would be on this road and there was like a cottage like with a thatched roof And I'd go in the cottage, and like in the drawers, there'd be like those little cushions that with potpourri, you know, like which we used to have in the 80s. And I felt very much like I was in a feminine space. And then I would go somewhere else, and it would be like a big, dark sort of warehouse, like in the final scene of like Terminator, with chains and sandbags, and like the coloring was like black and terracotta, like dark, you know, browns, and like earthy and like muddy, and I just knew that was man.
And you were sort of living in between these places?
No, I wanted to get away from Terminator and go to the safety of Thatched Cottage.
I cannot believe you were cultivating these thoughts from such a young age, because that is basically Miss Me.
What do you mean?
Dissecting masculinity and femininity and where is safe and where you see yourself. I mean, this is quite a grown-up kind of thinking within dreams at that age, don't you think?
I mean, I think we have to like take into account what environment I was growing up in, you know, and like, I really don't want to cry.
No, don't, because I cried last week.
Particularly emotional about it, but you know, it was like I grew up like in a really very highly charged. My sense of self and consciousness was being formed at a time where my parents were going through divorce. It was really volatile. And yeah, I think my little brain was just trying to make sense of it all from a really early age, and why certain things felt safe and other things didn't.
Yeah, and how to protect yourself within that.
But then I think I do have dreams that have stories, but I just don't remember them. Like my mum told me that once I was sleeping in her bed, and I just like sat upright and went, "Well, you certainly won't be getting that promotion now, will you, Sergeant?"
No,
and then went back to sleep again.
Tell me this. You did tell me this. Sort of a weird army outburst. Yeah. God, what fucked up little kids we were.
I don't think we're still quite fucked up.
You don't think we're fucked up anymore?
No, I said I think we are still quite fucked up.
And we've turned it into gold. So don't worry about that. I understand that though. Shmili, I do understand that trying to control your environment in chaos as a child. I think we did all right. Let's have another question. Let's have another peppier question about dreams, and I'll bring in my Jungian theories.
Hello, Lily. Hello, Miquita. Big fan of the podcast. My name's Daryl. Hoping to see some more live shows soon. My question's about lucid dreams. Have you both had any? And what did you actually do in them? I mean, for me, I've had a couple, but the one that springs to mind was around the high pandemic. For whatever reason, I was in the film Aladdin, the animated one, and Aladdin was just moonwalking for some reason. I just remember thinking, what the fuck is this? And then I don't know what happened. I just woke up in the dream, and then I just found myself flying, and it was amazing. And then eventually everything just kind of went to dark, and then I woke up. So yeah. So what's both your like recollections of any lucid dreams, if you've had any?
Oh, lucid dreaming. I've never really understood the distinction between dreaming and lucid dreaming. What is lucid dreaming? It's like his takes him to a Michael Jackson, his takes him to Aladdin doing the moonwalk. But what is the difference? Oh, no. It's about when you can influence or control the dream's narrative. Now that I have done. I've done that because someone asked me today when we were talking about dreaming, what dreams do you really like? And I was like, well, obviously when I'm snogging someone I really fancy, if you had some of those are really good. Those are really good. And I've done everything in my power to not leave the dream. Yeah, I can feel myself leaving. I'm like, no, I'm not done here yet. I'm not done. I think I had a really great sex dream about like Jared Leto when I was like 18. And it ended too soon.
Wow.
Let's just say. I wasn't done.
That dream couldn't end quickly enough for me.
I don't think I'd want to play with him now.
I feel really sad because I just don't really remember my dreams. There have been periods of time in my life when I do remember my dreams, but just not at the moment.
Eddie said the interesting thing about dreams is no one cares about other people's dreams. I was like, thanks for saying that, as we do listen, bitch. But it's like, you always say, oh my God, I had the weirdest dream last night, let me tell you about it. But then if someone goes, I've had a dream where you're like, I don't care, this didn't happen. So kind of puts the episode into a crisis area. But I hope we're making it interesting. Why don't you ask for another question, Lil? Let's see where it takes us.
I would love to hear another question, as long as it doesn't ask me to recall a dream, because I don't remember any of them.
Hi, Lily and Miquita. This is Lee calling from Cornwall, and my question about dreams this week is: can having dreams ever be more harmful than beneficial? And in this sense, I mean that I feel on social media there's a push to always be hyper-productive and to always know what you have going on and to have a very good sense of self. So I just wanted your guys' insights into whether having big aspirations and big dreams can actually do damage to oneself, because we put ourselves under so much pressure to reach certain goals in perspective with people around us and what they're doing. Love the podcast, guys, and yes, speak to you soon.
Very interesting question, lovely Lee in Cornwall. I mean, this is a good time for me to be thinking about this, because everything in my life has just suddenly changed. And it's been really good for me. It's actually been really good for me to not be like, right, this is where I'm headed. Da-da. Sometimes it's quite good to get like kicked up the arse by life or punched in the face by life. And you have to kind of recalibrate what's important to you. And I'm still very ambitious and focused on the things that I want to build. But I'm also really enjoying spending a lot of time with my nan and helping Garfield walk the dogs a lot, and actually being there for my mum more. I didn't know that my mum sort of does need extra support in certain parts of her life, and I'm really helping her with that. You know what it is? It's about, it's taking all the gaze away from what you want to achieve for yourself, for your benefit. And I'm living
What
in...
have the gays done to you?
And so I've decided to be more of a, living for other people and their joy and their shit. And it's felt really good. I didn't even decide. It's just what's happened and it's what feels nice. So I think I might be a little less...
That's so funny. It's like completely the opposite for me. Like, I feel like, I think, people probably have an idea of me that I'm quite selfish. And actually, so much of my decision making is informed by what other people think, what's going to make other people happy. Mm-hmm. And I lose myself. I find it really hard to identify goals and what I want. And so at the moment, I'm really trying to be practicing this one thing, which is, do I like this?
No, it's very good for you to go into complete self-serving space.
Yeah, I'm like, am I enjoying myself? Do I like this? Because I have a habit of just like tunnel vision, just getting through it, whether it's like organizing birthday parties or, I don't, just stuff, life, the way in which I'm like perceived publicly, like expressing myself. Is that going to piss this person off? Is that going to piss up this person off? And actually, do I believe this? Do I like this? Is this true? That's where I'm at the moment.
But the thing, you know what intrigues me about that? Because I was just thinking, well, you've been famous since you were 21 and a mother since you were 25. Both those things bring all of that, like, thinking about other people a lot. And before that, we were so footloose and fancy free, weren't we? And I wonder, though, how it felt for you to be, because when you became like Lily Allen and stuff, it wasn't just like, you weren't just singing songs. And it was very like, I have opinions on things and this is how I feel about the world, even if it was like LDN, all smiley, happy, jazzy. You always were kind of observing. How did you feel with like your opinions being so out in the world and everyone listening to them? Did that then put pressure on you for like the rest?
It's interesting because it was just on the cusp of like the internet and, well, not in the internet because the internet had been around for a while, but I guess like social media and things staying online forever.
Right.
It's because, we are human beings and our opinions change. Like, there are things that I said and that I did when I was 21 that will forever be there on the internet that make me cringe now and that I certainly don't agree with. And people try and hold me to account for things. Like, I'll do something now and I'll see people on, message boards or on TikTok or whatever going like, didn't she say this? And it's like, yeah, I did 20 years ago when I was like, hadn't had 20 more years experience or knowledge on something. So yes, it was like fairly liberating because it was this new age where you could say things and you had control over those things being put out into the world, but it hadn't ever happened before. You know, like there was that saying when we were growing up, is like, you know, today's news is tomorrow's chip paper. It isn't, because the internet doesn't turn into chip paper. It's just become something that you, every time you type in Lily Allen or Miquita Oliver, it all fucking comes up. It lives forever. So it's there's a flip side to both of it. Like, I think at the time I felt like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I'm a young woman. I can have these opinions and these, and I can express myself in this way. And it feels really powerful. But then it was really easy for people to like grab onto those things and use them against me, and still is. And also sometimes I feel like my like self-censoring myself, because I know of things that already exist out in the world that might contradict things that I think now. And so it's like
self-censoring.
Yeah.
When? When was that?
I can't think of an example, but like there'll be something that I'll be like, oh, I'd like to say this. Oh, I can't say this because I remember a couple of years ago I said this. Or, oh, you know what? Okay, here's an example. So like, you know, if I was to make an album now and I wanted to put a cover version on it,
right,
I would think, oh, I can't do that because I so famously told Beyonce that she shouldn't have covered Jolene, even though that's not what I fucking said. I know that exists out there in the internet, and that would be used as ammunition if I wanted to do a cover version of the song on a record. So that's what I mean in terms of like the internet. Yes, it's great, and that it gives you this freedom to express yourself, but at the same time, because the past is there in black and white and never dies and can be used against you, it can be limiting and it can result in self-censorship. And now you guys aren't going to get my cover of
Dreams, Gabrielle.
Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. Not going to happen.
I do think you should cover Gabrielle Dreams, though. That would be so...
Dreams can come true.
And also, I think there's a whole generation of people that don't know that song. And imagine living a life with not knowing that song.
By the way, I had the words to that song wrong forever.
Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe. I'm into you. You know you got to have them. You know you got to be strong.
I always thought it was dreams can come true. I know, baby, because I've had a few.
That's quite good, though.
No.
I know, baby, because I've had a few. You know you got to have them.
You know you got to have them. You know you got to be strong.
What a tune. See, that's quite a good answer to him. Like, about the ambition. Sorry, we've gone so somewhere around the asses. But that's, you know, just don't listen to us. Listen to Gabrielle. Because they are, you know, you do have to have them. You do have to have dreams. And even if it's me and you, like, doing some property pawning, do you know what I mean? Like, that is still a dream of a new chapter in life and what it might look like and who you might be and what you might have learned and what things might have come into your life. Let's just finish that. Dreams can come true. You know you got to have them. You know you've got to be strong. There you go.
Dreams can come true, but then you wake up one day and realize the whole thing was a lie. It was all a lie.
And sometimes, just sometimes, that happens instead. And that's the kick up the ass in life that I was talking about. So have dreams, but don't think it protects you from being punched in the face by life. No one is protected from that.
I think we should probably take a break. It's probably time for a break.
Carl Jung needs a fag break, he said.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone that listens to Miss Me around the world. We're just reminding you that you can listen to every single episode we've ever made on BBC Sounds, if you're so inclined.
Our most recent meaty drop, we cover topics from racism, poverty, Katy Perry going to space, and football.
That's right, and football.
If you're enjoying this episode of Miss Me, you can find loads more podcasts you might like on BBC Sounds, like Diddy on Trial, the BBC podcast where I follow every twist and turn in the run-up to Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial in May. I'm Anushka Matanda-Doughty, and each week on Diddy on Trial, I go behind the headlines, from the deepest conspiracies to the latest allegations. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
Welcome back to Listen Bitch, the theme is dreams, and joining us today is Sigmund Freud through Google.
And Carl Jung.
And Carl Jung's coming later. Let's have another question. I think there was something I wanted to say. No, let's have another question.
Yo, Lilikita. This is Ali from Newcastle, but I'm currently in the Alps in Avoriaz in France, overlooking the mountains. But I'm in a high altitude. I'm looking over, listening to Miss Me and doing charcoals of the mountains. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Because the altitude's really high, we're all having like mental dreams every night. So is there any place in the world where you think your dreams are more mental, or when you travel, does it affect it differently? But is there any particular place where you've had the most mental dreams? Love to hear you. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Did you hear what Ali called us? Lily Keats.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Lily Keats. I like that.
I think actually when I've been traveling, countries that have really spicy food, I have funny dreams, and spicy food affects my dreams.
And what makes them spicier?
No, just a little bit more like, what?
Mine was also the mountains in Aspen when I was 22. The greatest trip of my life. We were doing T4 Christmas special. So when TV had money, we went for 3 weeks to Aspen. Can you imagine?
3 weeks? Wow.
To do like a little bit of television. And God, it was such a great trip. I learned that I'm an incredible skier. And I learned that I love the mountains, and that ties into my Scottish ancestry. So it was a deep place to be, and I dreamt. I had an extremely weird dream. All of my dreams were of flying while I was there. Actually, that's when my flying dreams started. That's the other thing. I'm either being hunted or I'm flying. And because I'm flying, I have to drop. And that's why I hate roller coasters and things like that, because that drop, that tummy drop, I've been doing in my dreams since I was 20. It's like this weird thing where I go really high up and then I go, oh God, here we go. I have to go down, and my whole tummy drops. And it's the most horrible, unnerving feeling. And I go through it quite a lot in my dreams. So I don't know what that would mean. What would Jung say about that? He says, let's see what we've done, Freud. Let's see what Jung says. An expression of this is Carl Jung, obviously. An expression of the overall psychic situation. It's like your own personal language. Some dreams will be interesting, some won't. Dreams are impartial, spontaneous products of the unconscious psyche outside the control of the will. But if you pay attention to them, you might learn something about your subconscious. So Jung and Freud on the same page, as always, as the colleagues and lifelong friends they were. Did you watch that film, A Dangerous Method, about Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, with Michael Fassbender and
No,
Keira Knightley?
I did not.
I haven't seen either, but it really looks quite good. Anyway.
Okay, let's watch it.
Oh, let's have another question. While we're here, let's have another one.
Hey, Miquita and Lily, it's Sanya here from Kent. Absolutely love the podcast. Absolutely love both of you guys. Big fan since day. Miquita, love your style. Lily, love your music. So, dreams. I'm coming at this from a yoga perspective because I'm a yoga teacher. I personally rarely dream, but when I do, I hate it. I just feel like it's made my sleep a little bit less peaceful, which is not fun. I was on an advanced teacher training in the Himalayas this summer, and my yoga philosophy teacher said to us that if you dream, it means that you are mentally disturbed. Which I thought was a little bit dramatic and harsh of her to say. But on a practical level, she's right. Obviously, it does mean that your sleep has been a little bit less still and a bit less peaceful. But she was basically suggesting that if you dream, it means that you've got like emotional issues that need addressing so that you can move towards a place of more mental stillness. I just thought it was a really interesting point for discussion. Would love to know what both of you think about it. Anyway, lots of love. Bye.
I'm going to bring in Freud again.
Okay. Bring in Sigmund.
Come on, Sigmund.
Siggy.
Welcome to Listen, Fitch.
Welcome, Siggy.
But anyway, Freud says, clever bastard. He says it's split into two elements, the latent and the manifest. The latent is the hidden meaning, the subconscious messaging, the desires, the wishes, the conflicts. That's probably like my sex dream with Jared Leto. And then we have the manifest, the actual structure of the dream and the storyline. The narrative. That's interesting.
Mm.
Yes. Because there are dreams with sometimes I have them, there's unbelievable narratives going on. Like lots of different storylines and characters that look a bit like you and Phoebe, but then they're not really. It really does make you feel like you're insane when you have certain dreams. But what do you think?
You're doing a good job.
Me and Sigmund have got this.
No, she was saying that her yoga instructor told her that if you dream that you're mad. And I don't agree because I don't dream, but I am definitely mad. So your conspiracy theory is fine.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Get a fucking eye dog.
Your conspiracy theory is flawed. Enjoy your yoga, but your teacher's full of shit. Final question, please, for this week's Listen Bitch, the theme is dreams.
Hi Lily, hi Miquita. Love the podcast. I left a horrible relationship 10 years ago now, and I've been on a meteoric rise since, and I feel like I've accomplished all my dreams. So my question for you is, do you feel like you've accomplished all your dreams? And if not, what's next?
Love that. I've been on a meteoric rise ever since. Good for you. Good for you. Walk away from that dickhead. Create a new life for yourself. I was saying to Phoebe the other day, it's good to have an umbrella goal, but don't worry about the details. But what happens? What will it look like until I meet the man of my dreams? What will it look like? It doesn't matter. Have an umbrella fantasy place that you like to think about, and let God and the universe get on with the details, because the details will always be better than you ever could imagine, but not if you control them with what you think your dreams are. Does that make sense, Lil? Like, the world can always surprise you and give you better than you can even really write down.
Yes, I think that's called surrendering to a higher power.
Yeah.
I'm going to think up some new dreams, I think.
I think it will be quite a new, unique experience for you to get mood boarding. I think you need to get on Pinterest to get mood boarding of your new dreamy chapter. I started doing it the other day with my new flat. It was very interesting, very exciting. I've been doing I totally forgot about that element on Pinterest, and it really makes it stand out as an app and the software it uses. But the fact that it's got that little magnifying glass when I went on Bette Midler's. Bette Midler's got this extraordinary penthouse in New York. Just love it. And she's selling it, so it's all over the place. And I went on her terrace because I was obsessed with the wooden chairs she has as her garden furniture. And I just went on it, and then took me straight to First Dibs that had the exact same set for 20 grand, which I can't afford, but I really appreciated the journey and the connection. So I've just returned to Pinterest boards. I used to think they were a bit naff, but actually they're really fucking great. I'm going to go now and go downstairs and get some good food from you know where.
It's not open on Mondays.
Oh, we're going to have to change the day that we do Miss Me. I'm not coming all this way, not being able to go to that restaurant. I will speak to you later, but do you want to do... I've got quite a good listen, bitch, but I feel like I keep feeding them to you, and that's not fair.
No, we're doing...
You got something?
We've got something, yeah.
The theme for next week's Listen Bitch is... birthdays! Oh my God! Yeah, there's actually no hiding it from anymore. You know, my birthday's next week and I haven't even... I'm like...
Why do you think I chose birthdays, though?
Because it's your birthday?
No.
Yeah, but yours is 5 days later, as always. Isn't that sweet that we're 5 days apart? Such crazy Taurians.
You're going to be 42.
I'm actually going to be 41.
Oh, sorry,
Lily.
41. So. Oh isn't that funny? Because in my head, I'm already 40, so that's why I put you at 42.
I know. I told you not to waste the last bit of 39, but you didn't listen. It's birthdays because we're both about to have birthdays. Lily's got a big one. She's turning 40. I've got a pretty nondescript 41 coming up, which I'm actually really into. Now that I know 40s aren't scary, I'm fine with more. I can handle it. It's fun. It's a gift. Birthdays it is. The number is 0800. No. 110 shows and I still can't remember the number. 08000 30 40 90. 08000 30 40 90. We'll see you then. Thanks, Lil.
Bye, babe.
Bye, babe.